Jim, would you tell me why you're a tax resister and what that means, and maybe even a little bit about the history of tax resisting?
Okay. Well, the history of war tax resistance probably is as ancient as humanity itself. But I'm sure back in certain dark ages, people were probably exterminated or murdered for being opposed to soldiering. But when in around 1850, when Henry David Thoreau wrote his dissertation on civil disobedience, he is supposedly the first recorded war tax resistor here in the United States.
Wow, okay.
Because he opposed the American-Mexican War, which the President of the United States at the time, and excuse me for not knowing who it might have been, but he...
I think that was Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, no, Theodore Roosevelt was 1901.
Okay.
So
I'm way
it
off.
would have been Cleveland?
I have no idea.
I think, maybe. But anyway, maybe way earlier. But he was incarcerated for opposing, to help pay for the Mexican-American War. And he was asked by his good friend, what was his name? The other writer at the time. No, I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And he goes, well, why are you in here? And he goes, well, why are you out there?
Ah, okay. Smart answer.
Yeah. So, but that was during the time of the, what was those writers' names? There was a movement of writing back then. So obviously these people came to some kind of understanding as to right and wrong. And I think, unfortunately, since it's not taught, you have to sort of like come to your own conclusions as to what is right and what is wrong.
A basic ethics system.
Yeah, and so then, and for me, it has to be. It's pretty black and white. There's no gray area as to what's right and wrong, and so that's why I've been accused of having a very strong moral compass. Because I've been accused of imposing my morality on other people in terms of war. And so having just watched this little video that you showed me of Paulus, and he seeing the violence that the United States was committing when they entered the Korean War, which was what? Just almost immediately after World War II. Why would they want to go and attack another country so soon after being at war? And the only thing I can conclude is that it's capitalism, because war is money, and there's a lot of money to be made in warring, and a lot of people have gotten very, very rich. And those people who've gotten very rich maintain that wealth today. And it could have been partly my, I guess, socialist upbringing in Spain that brought me to an idea that that equality means sharing resources with everyone equally, and an intelligence or upbringing, or having more benefits at the time of your birth than others shouldn't be a selfish act. And a lot of people would disagree with me They said, if I work hard and I have the intelligence and the aptitude to do that, then whatever I accumulate should be mine, and it shouldn't be, and I shouldn't have I shouldn't have to share it if I don't want to. And I guess there's some argument, that could be said that, yes, maybe there is some right or wrong about that. But the problem with that is that selfishness, greed, it's too easy to take that side of the coin instead of sharing your wealth equally with your neighbors, and so that it upholds all humanity. And so for me, when I came back to the United States after living in Spain for so long, I was rebelling back in 7th grade, and by the time I was in high school, I realized that war was not the answer. And but of course I didn't have much voice then. But as I went to college and had to deal with professors that were teaching us courses in basically management, which basically turned out to be how to be more greedy, I would question that. And the more I questioned, the more I realized that they were actually teaching pure capitalism, and that if you weren't a capitalist, then you weren't going to survive well in this country. And I rebelled against that. And so then I found that there was like-minded students on campus, and we started talking about this idea of war tax resistance, and the information was coming back to us through this group called the Peacemakers. And the Peacemakers, from what I remember, started in Cincinnati and by a group of people opposing war. And by this time they were much our elders. And luckily for me, I was able to go to gatherings where they would be. And of course, their philosophies and understanding of peace and war grew upon myself. And so I became a conscious objector. I never filed for selective service. And upon graduating from the university, I decided to be a war tax refuser and refusing to ever file a tax return again. And during my lifetime, up to this time, the IRS knows who I am. They send me a big, huge bill every year, and we sort of ignore each other. And it seems like the consequences of being a war tax resistor are very, very low. Now, maybe some people have more possibilities of being collected upon or seized, or the government wants to make a greater example of them. But they haven't chosen me to do that. And so I just basically lived my life as a normal person, taking jobs when I wanted more work, or being a farmer, or being involved with agriculture, since I went to an agriculture program at the university. It never impacted my lifestyle at all, being a war tax resistor.
Wow. Okay, so you can just get away with it,
Yeah, you
basically.
can just get away with it. It seems to me.
So it's
Now,
like
I
a
know
personal
others-
position. You renounce making a lot of money because then maybe you would be more visible, or is that not part of it?
Well, when you say lots of money, yeah, making over $100,000 a year was
Okay.
not ever a dream,
Okay,
or never an idea that I aspired to.
right.
Making enough money to be comfortable was certainly an idea.
So even if you were making quite a good salary, you were never focused on by the government because you weren't paying taxes.
Yeah, they didn't.
Okay.
I mean, there was a few years in my life where, well, probably close to 10 or 12 years, I made over $45,000 a year, and never got questioned. Or actually, I got letters saying, "Why aren't you filing your tax return?" But they never figured out how much I was supposed to owe, and they never did any more than just send me a letter.
Okay. So you've been able to maintain your position.
As a war
Great.
tax resistor, and I hopefully over my lifetime and going to other meetings, I have persuaded other young people to at least look at the possibilities of how they can be war tax resistors themselves
Okay.
in their own way.
Okay.
We guess in the movement there's about 100,000 war tax resistors
In the country.
in the country.
Okay.
Probably only maybe 10,000 are actually registered or professed, or you could find out that they actively promote war tax resistance. The rest all are living other kinds of social action lifestyles, and war tax resistance is just a peripheral way of also being subversive, if you
Okay.
want.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. I'm
Yep.
going to